ഹലോ, എല്ലാവർക്കും കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഒരു തംസ് അപ്പ് ഇടുവാണെങ്കിൽ ഐ കൻ അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഐ എം ലൈവ്. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു ചേച്ചി. ഗുഡ് ഈവനിങ്. താങ്ക് യു. യെസ്, എനിക്ക് കാണാം. ദർ മെനി പീപ്പിൾ കമ്മിങ്. ഓക്കെ, ഹലോ എവ്രിബഡി. നമുക്ക് ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് കൂടെ നിൽക്കാം ഫോർ പീപ്പിൾ ഹു ആർ ജോയിനിങ്. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, ലവ്ലി, താങ്ക് യു. എനിക്ക് ഇച്ചിരി വൈഫൈൻ്റെ പ്രോബ്ലം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ഇവിടെ. ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ ഡേറ്റയിൽ നടക്കുന്നത്. സോ ഇഫ് ഇൻ കേസ് കട്ട് ആവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഐ ഹാവ് ടു സ്വോപ്പ് ഓവർ. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, സോ വെരി ഗുഡ് ഈവനിങ് എവ്രിബഡി. ഇവിടെ വന്ന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്ത എല്ലാവർക്കും ഐ താങ്ക് യു ഫോർ കമ്മിങ് ഓൺ ദിസ് ലൈവ് സെഷൻ. എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലെങ്കിലും ഓൾ യുവർ മെസ്സേജസ് ആർ കമ്മിങ് ത്രൂ ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ്സ് really encouraging. Thank you everybody. Okay, so usually ഇത് എൻ്റെ വീടാണെങ്കിൽ you'll hear a lot of കച്ചപ്പച്ച in the background. 3 പിള്ളേരുള്ളതാ. And ഈ സമയം usually it's bedtime, but I'm in my friend's house today, and thankfully they've arranged for me a place to speak. അത്രയും പാഷനറ്റ് ആയി കാരണം. So my husband's looking after my kids and I'm here to speak to you this evening. So I hope നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ സെഷൻ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് തോന്നും, and you'll be able to take some messages out of this. I'm quite passionate about sharing my experiences to people and making you all aware, especially പുതിയ വരുന്ന പിള്ളേർക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും. So I hope you find this session useful. So we are here to talk about embracing resilience, inspiring you to overcome adversity in crafting a successful career. And I'll also speak a bit later about introduction to alcohol specialist nursing and a little bit awareness about substance misuse. Pinna samayam kittengi I'll speak to you about some interview tips at the very end. So stay with me, stay tuned. Okay, നമ്മളെല്ല സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് there's one question I want to throw out to all of you. I'll just take a second and think about it. Ask yourself, what does a successful career look for me? How can it be a reality for me, say tomorrow? What steps can I take today to make it a reality? Maybe tomorrow, maybe in a week's time, in a month's time, or in the near future, a year or 5 years. But what can I do to make that a reality? Just take a second and think to yourself. What does success really mean to you? Okay, so how can we define success? Success is very subjective. What success means to me might not be the same what it means to you. Namukku ellarkum we have different perceptions about success. For example, say it could be financial stability, it could be higher bands, it could be family satisfaction. I get more time with my family, work life balance. Or for some it might be I'm so passionate about this subject and I've managed to climb up the ladder, or reached up to a clinician level, clinical practitioner level. So it's very subjective what success means to each one of us. Okay, and I've heard this quite a lot of time. Many people say to people at lower bands or bands at starting level, say band 4, band 3, band 5, that you're in this band for so many years. I've seen so many Chetans and Chechis at this band, and they've not progressed. They've stayed in that band and they're happy where they are. And കുറേ പേര് ഇങ്ങനെ അവരോട് പറയും that ഈ ബാൻഡിൽ തന്നെ നിൽക്കുവാണോ, you're not successful, I don't think അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി they are not successful. But come to their side and see if that person feels happy where they are, if they're fulfilled, if they're able to meet family time, if they're able to have work-life balance and they've had that equilibrium in their life, then that is success for them. We are no one to judge what success means to that other person. Okay, but for those of you who have that little bit of passion in you to say, oh, maybe somewhere in the future I want to go forward, maybe I want to do a little bit more. For those of you, success might have a different meaning. You want to do a little bit more, you want to progress, you want to come out of the norm. So that would be success, what it means to you. But for me, ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ mantra share ചെയ്യാം. For me, what success means, it might be different for all of you, but എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി what success means is, yes, I definitely want to go up the banks, yes, and that is one aspect of success for me. But also in another way, say 10-20 years down the line, when I'm 50, when I'm 60, when I look back on my life, and I'll think to myself, have I achieved what I want in my career? Am I where I am, where I wanted to be, where I envisioned myself to be? Have I given enough time to my family, to my kids? Have we made memories together that they can hold on to when they grow up? Am I financially where I want to be? So if you've answered yes to all these three questions, that would be my mantra for success. Okay, so that is what success means to me. So even if I would be on a lower band, and even if I've answered these questions to myself, that is what success means to me. So today, when you all come out of this session, ningal ellarum ee moonu question just ask yourself today, okay, and see how it feels to you in few years time. Am I going where I want to be? Am I thinking, am I able to get the financial gains that I want to? Am I going into financial stability? Am I giving enough time to my family? Are we creating memories together? Because this is all what will matter to you when you're 60, 70. Nothing else will. Okay. And yes, this will if you've answered yes to these questions, think you'll be able to achieve a successful career. That is according to me. Okay. Now this brings me to a phase where I think I can share my journey with you, which I'm very passionate about sharing my story. And I can see എൻ്റെ കൂടെ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ് തൊട്ട് ജോലി ചെയ്ത് UK ജോലി ചെയ്തവരും എൻ്റെ കൂടെ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി പഠിച്ചവരും കുറേ പേര് ഓൺലൈൻ ഉണ്ട്. So it's really inspiring to see you all, and I also think I have some friends and family as well. So yes, I graduated in 2010 from SNDT University in Mumbai, and the experience that we get through SNDT is quite rewarding. It's a very rich experience. ആ ദിവസം ആ സമയത്ത് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഞങ്ങളോട് പറയുമ്പം it doesn't feel like that, but today when you come few years down the line and you look back, it's a really, നമുക്ക് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ കിട്ടുന്ന experience is really rich. We come out of a really good experience. So those of you who want that little bit of motivation, ഞാൻ UK വന്നിട്ട് I'm not going anywhere, let this be a motivation to you. You are an excellent nurse. The experience and the knowledge from the education system that we get back from home is really rich. Okay. After graduating from SNDT University, I joined Hinduja Hospital in Mumbai itself. ഞാനൊരു critical care course ചെയ്ത് ഞാൻ ICU തന്നെ ജോലി ചെയ്തു. I was there for 2 years, and then by that time I started understanding that in private hospitals you do have a voice, and you can have a good chat with doctors, and you can provide your suggestions about patient care, but there is a limitation to that. And even today when I speak to my friends back home who are in quite senior levels in nursing at directorate levels, I get the same feel that the voice for a nurse is not that valid back home. So I came, and I wanted to have that say in my nursing career. I wanted to have that say about patient care and make an impact for patient. I started looking for going up abroad and pursuing my nursing career abroad, and such I came to UK in 2012. 2012 when I came on a student visa. വന്നപ്പം തന്നെ the very day I landed in UK, November 14th, I clearly remember, in 2012, we understood that it was a scam. No such college really existed. Then the next 4 months was a big saga in my life, because itta paisa mottam poi, and I just have one friend with me and no other support, no other family members over here. So I had come നാട്ടിൽ നിന്നൊക്കെ വലിയ ഹോപ്പും വെച്ച് വലിയ ആശയം വെച്ച് വന്ന് I will become something, and I'm going to UK. But അതെല്ലാം പൊട്ടി ചിതറി on the very day that I landed in UK. But even through that, എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രണ്ടിൻ്റെ ഒരു ചേച്ചി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. And she was like my guardian angel at that time. She took me in as a family member, and she supported really well. And through her, through that 4 months, it was really difficult. And she helped me. And avade through enike, Chechi is watching this session today, so I hope it's like a dedication to her as well. So through her, I was able to go back and come back on a work visa. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വർക്ക് വിസയിൽ വന്ന ഒരു പ്രൈവറ്റ് കെയർ ഹോമിലായിരുന്നു in Surrey. Obviously, I'm not sharing the names, but people do know where I was. I was really thankful, but that was a private care home. I had friends, roommates living with me who were really bonded in faith. When you leave family and home and you're single and you come here, that's when you understand the value of your faith and friends, good friends and really good support system around you. I spent 2 years, but by the end of 2 years, it was sort of getting monotonous for me. For me, I find passion in acute nursing, so I wanted to join the NHS. So I started looking for ways to move from there. The fact that I understood was that because it was a private nursing home, they wouldn't be able. There was a blanket rule that you are not going to get references from any of the nurses, no professional references, neither from the manager or nurses. So we asked about this, and then the ultimatum was you have a legal responsibility to give reference, but obviously if you want to go ahead of that, it is lawsuit. And എനിക്ക് അതിലൊന്നും പോകണ്ടായിരുന്നു, താല്പര്യമില്ലായിരുന്നു. Then I had my heart set on Imperial College London. എനിക്ക് അവിടെ തന്നെ പോയി ജോലി, അതിൽ ക്രിട്ടിക്കൽ കെയർ ICUയിൽ എനിക്ക് ജോലി ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പം കുറേ നോക്കി, എല്ലായിടത്തും അതിൻ്റെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസിൻ്റെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ എല്ലാം കൊടുക്കുമ്പം ഹാമർസ്മിത്ത്, ചെൽസി എല്ലായിടത്തും കൊടുക്കുമ്പം I was successful. I was like a little child going into the ICUs and looking like, wow, look at the technology. And I was amazed that every interview I was successful. But the biggest hurdle for me was I was getting no references. So much so that an HR from Imperial College London, the trust, called when they responded back to me because of the references. They said, that please do not look further because you have been blacklisted. So, I thought, okay, and the failure it is impossible. So that even put me down, but obviously I was strong in my faith. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm looking in one direction, maybe let me move my gaze to another direction. Angane njan locally Frimley Park Hospital noki, which was local to me. And avuduthe oru open house il njan open day il njan poi. Open day poyappam they were recruiting nurses for surgical acute dependency units, so with experience of critical care nursing. Appam avuduthe manager, she was really impressed with my experience and was willing to take me on, but obviously I had to speak to her about my references. But she was another guardian angel for me. She took me under her wings and she spoke to HR and she made the job available for me. So, what I'm trying to say, namaka faith ondingi, if we have surrounded ourselves with people who, namke evridannum venengi, they'll come and help you. It works at the right time for you, and it did for me. And she took me and I was able to join NHS, thankfully. Then she knew that I wanted to join ICU, and from there, by the end of the year, I joined ICU. And again, like a little baby in a big system, my eyes were like, oh wow, look at the systems. There was so much to learn, the technology. I was amazed. 2 years in it. Within that 2 years, I got married. And I spent 2 years in ICU. I was thinking, okay, now it is time that I should be asking for ICU course. But other choice every time I think I applied for it almost 3 to 4 times. Every time I was getting rejected. And the explanation was that there are people who are more experienced than me and who have been with the unit. They need to be offered the course first, which is understandable. Okay, then I thought it was time that, I should again move my gaze somewhere else, because there's a saying on the law, like, if you've been fishing on one side and there's not many fish over there, then you should try and move your gaze to another side. So this is another message that I want to pass on to you all. Like, if you're looking at one side and if you're not getting success with what you're doing, then it's time that you move on, change your gaze to another side. I moved, and then I found this role of alcohol specialist nursing, which was quite new, or pudhiya service. I don't know, we had NHS funding, and that's how the service was made available. I joined that, and then joining that itself meant a huge sacrifice on my family, first of all, because it was a working week. So you're working Monday to Friday, office hours 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, some days even working up to 6 o'clock. And it meant a lot on the family because my husband was working the same hours, so it meant that he had to take up hours that was opposite to mine. And at that time I also had my first child, so childcare ratio, I don't know. But all these things, we sat down, we spoke as a family. Change is not easy. Believe me, change is not easy as well, and we all know this. So after we sat down and spoke as a family, we then thought, okay, let's pursue this. Maybe this is the right decision for us as a family and for me in my career. From 2 years I spent in that place, and it was really a very rewarding experience. I was involved in policy making and guidelines making. I understood more about social care, about the substance misuse happening all over the country, about homelessness. ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഒരു 16-year-old ഒരു കൊച്ചിനെ എമർജൻസി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ വന്ന ഒരു കൊച്ച് ഹോംലെസ് ആണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് കേട്ടപ്പം I really felt so sad that back home, even after we get married, we have a home, we live with our parents, and over here that was such a culture shift for me. So there's so many things that I learned within this role about safeguarding children, etc. And after that, it was time for us to move to Manchester as a family because we planned to settle down. Ivide vanna I had my second child. Then for a brief period of time, I joined the joined the IDT, which was Integrated Discharge Team, as a discharge coordinator, which also gave me a lot of valuable experience. In discharge coordinator, in discharge team, you can learn about completing CHC assessments, so continuing healthcare assessments. Then at that time COVID hit, so we had to change our role, and we then became a trusted assessor, which is basically a part, we're working as a social worker within the hospital. So we're completing assessments for patients to make sure that they can find ways into on discharge to either assisted living or intermediate care, or care homes, either dementia, nursing, or as respite. So that was another change at the peak of COVID, but I learned a lot through that role as well. Then I found out about alcohol specialist nursing. I was at the brink of as a family, it was becoming really challenging. We were not able to meet childcare. I was not getting the set hours at work as I'd requested for flexible working. My husband had to leave his job, but he still supported me throughout all this, taking up another job. And as a family, it was quite challenging. And as I've already mentioned, change is so difficult, but we went through it. And my second child, I started sending her to childcare at 9 months. And I know there are so many of you out there who do that as well, or do alternating shifts. So it is quite demanding in this country as a childcare. ഒരു വലിയൊരു പ്രശ്നം തന്നെയാണ് നമുക്ക്, because we don't have family or support system. പിന്നെ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് I found myself, a person came and told me about this position. That was also another guardian angel sent to me. And when I came into this role, I got a really lovely manager who understood my issues and who worked with me in the flexible working and helped chedu. And she really built me. She put a lot of confidence in me and in the potential candidate when I applied for lead alcohol specialist nurse to set up a new service. I even got through that, and she supported me throughout it. Even today she calls, we work together. I'm currently on maternity leave with my third child, but she will even call and check on me and say, this is how it's going on, what would you like to do it. So what I'm trying to say is, with faith, the right people come into your life at the right time, and God will make things work. God will work things for you, and that is my belief. There may be people who don't believe as well, but just have faith. And if you have that passion in you that you want something, keep asking for it, keep seeking it, persevere through your difficulties, through your challenge. Don't give up, okay? And you will get it. Because when I'm saying this, NK, I remember Winston Churchill's very famous saying, success is not final, failure is not fatal, and the courage to continue is that counts. So, Nyanido Orkumbam, many of colleagues whom I speak to, or people who approach to me about interview tips and things, say, oh, enne kondu pettathilla, there's so much of self-doubt that, that whether I can or cannot. And I agree with them. I had the same feelings. But what I try to say to them is, the courage to keep persevering is all that counts. If you can, try and go above that self-doubt. Try and put at least one step into where you want to be. You will get it done. Success will come your way. Pinena. So that's my life story. So that's what I want to say, that, even though I felt that I had failure written all over me, I had impossible written all over me, as a family we got it done, with a supportive husband, who supported me in every step, with a supportive family back home, with friends who surrounded me, and with people, strangers coming into my life without no reason and helping me. I was able to make impossible possible. So today, if I stand and tell you, oh, ഞാൻ ഈ ഒരു ലെവലിലാണ്, ഞാനൊരു band 7 ലെവലിലാണ്, എൻ്റെ മാത്രം കഴിവാണ്, I am in this position, illa, that is absolutely wrong. I can say that maybe my contribution to that may be 10%, but it is all the other factors that has played in my life. And at the end, the courage to keep going. Yes, I can. Yes, we all can. Okay. So this leads me on to my next session, my next topic in this session, which I want to briefly touch upon, is barriers or challenges in building a career. So let's take a second and think to ourselves, okay, I want to be at this level. But what, എനിക്ക് എന്താ അത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്തെ? What is stopping me to do that today? Maybe there's children watching this, or maybe there are adults. Obviously, we all nurses, we're watching this. But if you have children at home, if anyone's watching this, think to yourself, what is stopping me to become that? What can I do to, go there? So I've pulled down some points which I think, ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ജേർണിയിൽ ഞാൻ കണ്ടേക്കുന്നത്. A is self-doubt for me. Okay, I've got 4 points jotted down, and I'm just going through that. So self-doubt is a very big thing. It's called imposter syndrome. There's actually a name for it, imposter syndrome. So basically, you feel you're worthless. You won't be able to do it. Okay, many individuals experience this, especially when you're going to an interview or you're trying to apply for a job. This will come to you. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Where they doubt their abilities and fear of being exposed as frauds. Oh, enikidonnu ariyatilla, so I'm not going for that role. Okay, and overcoming that and building confidence is such a significant challenge, my dear friends. And if you've done that, just put one thought to your mind, that yes, I can. I am not, ഞാൻ ICU, if I can go into alcohol specialist nurse, if my friends can go from theater nursing to infection control nurse, then you can. Yes, you can. Okay, there's nothing that you cannot do. Now, we are so blessed in the UK that there's so many career opportunities out there. There's so many learning opportunities. Or course chahiye, try and learn something. There's e-learning for health online. There's RCN website. There's so many courses free. Make yourself up to date with that. Or course vaiki, make a certificate out of that. That will make you feel, okay, maybe I have skills. Maybe ഞാൻ ഇതൊക്കെ ഈ റോളിൽ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, but I can bring it to my other role. Okay, they're called transferable skills. And that is how you sell yourself on an interview, to say, I have done ABC in this job, but this is how I can bring it into another job. Okay, say for example, you've got excellent communication skills, you collaborate really well, you're good on, you've got good public speaking skills, you're good at research, or you're good at doing audits or something, and try and bring that to your interview. Try and think about that, because that is what will make you go above that self-doubt. പിന്നെ ഉള്ള നമുക്ക് Malayali nurses in UK, a very big thing is childcare. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ I have gone through so many challenges. Each change has had a massive impact on my family, massive impact on my children. But it is how we as a couple or we as a family, agree on it. If you talk to each other, can we make this happen? Okay. Is your partner ready to support you? Is your friend, if you're single, is your friend ready to support you? Do you have mentors? Do you have teachers whom you can speak to? Is there a friend you can speak to say, this is my problem, how can I overcome it? So make a strong support system around you, a good social support system. Either it is friend, family, or either it is someone you don't know at work. Make a good support system, because they will give you the boost to go forward in life. Okay. And childcare is a very issue, and you will face that, there is no doubt. But if you have determined that you want to do something, തന്നെ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രണ്ടിനോട് മിണ്ടി, that she's working on a ward, but she wants to go further, and she said, oh, ഞാൻ ഇതിന് apply ചെയ്തു. She's in masters of nursing from back home, and she's on a band 5 level, but she wants to go ahead, and she did it. Like, ഞാൻ ഇത് apply ചെയ്തിടാ, എനിക്ക് അറിയത്തില്ല കിട്ടുമോ ഇല്ലയോ എന്ന്. അപ്പം ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു, അപ്പം ചൈൽഡ് കെയർ എങ്ങനെയാണ് മാനേജ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ഓ, ഞാൻ അത് എൻ്റെ ഹസ്ബൻഡിനോട് ഞങ്ങൾ മിണ്ടി, ഞങ്ങളത് മാനേജ് ചെയ്യും. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ഐ എം ട്രൈങ് ടു സേ ടു യു, മൈ ഡിയർ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, that if you can, if you want to get to somewhere, speak to your partner, because they are your support, and work it out as a family. There's nothing that you can't achieve in life if you want to get there. പിന്നെ വേറെയുള്ളത്, the third point is job insecurity. Now there are certain jobs that are funded for a certain period of time. Like ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ റോളിനൊക്കെ കുറച്ച് തന്നെ പറയാം. Like alcohol specialist nursing, sometimes we get funding from NHS England, or sometimes it's from ICB, that's Integrated Care Boards, or which used to be previously known as CCGs, Clinical Commissioning Bodies. അവിടുന്ന് ഫണ്ടിങ് കിട്ടും. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ you will have a pot of money from the hospital, and these might be funded for say 1 year or 2 years to see whether there is any clinical effectiveness in the organization because of this service. സോ നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ജോബ് കാണുമ്പോൾ നമുക്കൊരു സെൽഫ് ഡൗട്ട് തോന്നുന്നു, ഇതിന് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്ത് 2 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എന്നാ ചെയ്യും. ബട്ട് ഡോണ്ട് തിങ്ക് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്. വേറെ ഒരു സൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് പോയി നോക്ക്, ലുക്ക് അറ്റ് ഇറ്റ് പോസിറ്റീവ്ലി, ദാറ്റ് ഓക്കെ, മേ ബി ഇത് എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഐ ഹാവ് ബീൻ ട്രൈങ്, ഈ സൈഡിൽ ഞാൻ കുറേ ട്രൈ ചെയ്ത് നോക്കി, അത് പറ്റുന്നില്ല. ബട്ട് ഇഫ് ഐ ടേക്ക് ദിസ് ഓൺ, maybe that can be an additional qualification to my CV. എൻ്റെ തന്നെ ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ നോക്കിക്കോ. ഐ ഹാവ് ഡൺ ICU നഴ്സിംഗ്, ഐ ഹാവ് ഡൺ ആൽക്കഹോൾ നഴ്സിംഗ്, എന്നിട്ട് പോയി ഡിസ്ചാർജ് ടീമിൽ പോയി, പിന്നെയും ആൽക്കഹോൾ ടീമിൽ വന്നു. സോ വാട്ട് ഐ എം ട്രൈങ് ടു സേ ഇസ്, യു ഡോണ്ട് ഹാവ് ടു ഫോളോ എ സർട്ടൻ പാറ്റേൺ. യു ക്യാൻ navigate yourself, and the more you do is the more you learn. Okay, and that is the beauty of being a nurse in the UK, that your opportunities are wide. So use them, grab them when they come to you. പിന്നെ fourth point is, what are the barriers is lack of experience of skills. Okay, and we all agree that we don't know everything. So say if I am a critical care nurse, and if I want to be a diabetes specialist nurse, and that is what my passion is for, try and make sure that you look at the job description of a band 6 if that is where you want to go. Job description and person specification ഒന്ന് എടുത്ത് നോക്കുക. ആൻഡ് അതിനകത്ത് they might highlight to say, നമുക്ക് ഈ courses we want it in the essential criteria. They are there in your essential criteria. Make sure, if possible, you try and do that. Speak to your manager about it, that this is where I wish to go, and I'll need funding or support for this. And let me tell you, all of you out there, if ninka ariyao illiyo, are you aware or no, I'm not sure, but there is a pot of fund for each of us nurse with the hospital. So you are eligible for funding, and you can speak to your manager, and if you find any hindrance from there, then you are able to speak to your union reps or HR about it, because there is a special funding for every 3 years, and you can break it down into individual years, and you can make avail of that. So make use of that. And if you want to find more about funding, look onto your internet pages, go onto RCN websites, or speak to professional people, speak to your local friends and colleagues. You'll definitely find out funding for it. Okay. So yeah, make sure that you get the required qualities, the qualifications that you want when you apply for your next job. So these are the barriers that I've I think in my experience that can come across in your life. And if you try and overcome them, and if you're prepared for them, if you know them and if you're prepared for them, you'll be able to succeed in your career. Okay, പിന്നെ what I feel is, in pursuit of success, embrace your challenges as opportunities to grow. Every failure, don't look at it as a failure, take it as a stepping stone to say, okay, I've fallen down today, but this is going to be my stepping stone to make a positive, or make a career for me. Stay resilient, okay, and maintain a positive mindset, because that is the foundation of any prosperous career. ഒരു സിമ്പിൾ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഞാൻ എല്ലാവരോടും പറയാം. നമ്മൾ റീസെൻ്റ്ലി ഐ സ്പോക്ക് ടു എ ഫ്രണ്ട് ആൻഡ് സെഡ്, ആൻഡ് ഷീ സെഡ്, ഓ ചേച്ചി ഇത്രയും നാൾ നോക്കിയിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോഴാണ് ഒരു ബാൻഡ് 6 ആയത്. അപ്പം ഞാൻ അവളോട് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു സിമ്പിൾ ഒരു ഫാക്റ്റാണ്, നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ഓക്കെ നമ്മുടെ ഫാമിലി വിട്ട്, നമ്മുടെ നാട് വിട്ട്, all our comfort, if we have moved out of that comfort zone, and if we have come to a different country, and if we are working, and if we've made a life, then there is no bigger challenge than that. That is the biggest achievement you've done in life, to leave your comfort zone and come here to a country where you don't know anything. Okay, നമ്മളിത് നാട്ടിൽ വെച്ച് പഠിക്കും, okay, these are the things, ഇതാ ഇവിടുത്തെ UK culture, but apart from that we have no exposure. Knowing that if we've jumped out of our country, and if we've come here to make a living, then there is no other challenge bigger than that. So just look at it and think to yourself, if I've done that, there is nothing else that is going to stop me. Okay, take risks, step out of your comfort zone, and be persistent in pursuing your passions. Okay, always keep that in your mind, that എനിക്ക് ഇവിടെ എത്തണം, എനിക്ക് ഇത് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്, okay, I can, these are the opportunities. Ask, speak to people, make social networks. Okay, always keep a positive mindset. പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ, നെറ്റ്വർക്കിംഗ് ആൻഡ് ദി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, നമ്മൾ മലയാളി നഴ്സസ്, കേരള നഴ്സസ് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരുമ്പം ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഇസ് എ ഡെഫിനറ്റ് ബാരിയർ ഫോർ us. നമ്മൾ എന്ത് വിചാരിച്ചാലും നമുക്ക് നമുക്ക് ഇംഗ്ലീഷൊക്കെ അറിയാം, ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സ്കൂളിൽ നിന്ന് പഠിച്ചൊക്കെ വന്നയാ, ബട്ട് ദാറ്റ് സ്റ്റിൽ റിമെയിൻസ് എ ബാരിയർ ഫോർ us. ഇവിടുത്തെ ആക്സെൻറ്റ്, ഇവിടുത്തെ സ്ലാങ് വേർഡ്സ്, ലൈക്ക് I'll tell a simple example for me. I want to spend a penny. എന്നോട് എൻ്റെ കെയർ ഹോംസിലെ പേഷ്യൻസ് പറയുന്നത്, ഐ വോണ്ട് ടു സ്പെൻഡ് എ പെന്നി. ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ സ്റ്റണ്ട് അടിച്ച് അവരുടെ ഫേസ് ഇങ്ങനെ നോക്കുമായിരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ, യു ക്യാൻ സ്പെൻഡ് എ പെന്നി, വാട്ട് ഡസ് ദാറ്റ് മീൻ? സോ getting embedded with the people, with the local people, will make you understand their culture, their slangs. It's the same. നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലാണെങ്കിൽ we know everything, which bus route to take, which restaurant is the best place to go and eat. പക്ഷെ നമുക്ക് ഇവിടുത്തെ ആ കാര്യങ്ങളൊന്നും അറിയത്തില്ല. And you can find a lot of information on Google, but not everything. So നമുക്ക് ഒരു ഐ തിങ്ക് മലയാളീസിന് ഒരു ബിഹേവിയർ ഉണ്ട്, ദാറ്റ് നമുക്കൊരു മലയാളി ഫ്രണ്ടിനെ കിട്ടിയാൽ വീൽ ഓൺലി ബി വിത്ത് ദം, ആൻഡ് വി വോണ്ട് മേക്ക് ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, ലോക്കൽ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്. പക്ഷേ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് നോക്കുക, ഇഫ് യു ആർ എ ലോക്കൽ പേഴ്സൺ ആൻഡ് ഇഫ് യു ലുക്ക് അറ്റ് an international nurse doing that, you'll think, oh, okay, she's comfortable, I'll let her be, I'm not going to talk to her. I don't want to make a lot of contact with that person. So what I'm trying to say, that the ways of socializing and the way of celebrating or having fun is different in the UK, and we understand that. But understanding that and making friends with the local people will give you a lot of benefit, because ninka pinne local കാര്യങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കാം, you will get to know the language, you'll get to know the slangs, you'll go out with them, അവരുടെ culture മനസ്സിലാക്കാം, their eating and drinking habits. And not only that, നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ വേറെ ഒരു ജോബിന് വേണ്ടി നോക്കുമ്പം you can gain advice from them. ഇനിഷ്യലി ഞാൻ NHS കയറിയപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് വാർഡിൽ മെഡിക്കൽ അക്യൂട്ട് ഡിപ്പെൻഡൻസി യൂണിറ്റിൽ നോക്കുമ്പം ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് 6 months ആയിട്ടുള്ളൂ, എന്നിട്ടും പിള്ളേർ ബാൻഡ് 6 ഒക്കെ ആയി പോകുന്നു. അപ്പം ഞാൻ ഓർക്കും, ദൈവമേ, എനിക്ക് എന്നാ ഒരു കുറവ്, വൈ ആം ഐ നോട്ട് റീച്ചിങ് ദർ. പക്ഷെ അപ്പം ഞാൻ ചിന്തിക്കുമ്പം I understand that A, I am not looking for jobs, B, I don't know, my education system is completely different to them. അപ്പം the importance ഞാൻ പറയാനുള്ള കാരണം is network with a lot of people, local people. It will bring a lot of humility to you, and it will help you succeed in your career. Okay, and then maintaining work-life balance. നമുക്കൊരു ഹാബിറ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, ഞാൻ ഡ്യൂട്ടി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അരമണിക്കൂർ കൂടുതൽ നിന്ന് ഞാൻ എല്ലാം കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഹാൻഡ് ഓവർ കൊടുത്തിട്ടേ വരുള്ളൂ, ഞാൻ അതിന് മുമ്പ് വീട്ടിൽ വരുമില്ല. But that is not what nursing is. Nursing over here is 24/7. If you've not managed to do that because of ABC, you've had a difficult patient, you've had intubation on the way, you've had a cardiac arrest. Okay, make sure that you document that. I've not managed to do this in my shift, but I have handed it over to ABC nurse who is taking over the shift. You've done that and you've handed over. That is the end of your shift. Try and make sure that you maintain that boundary, because slog cheythu, it will create a lot of stress in your life. Okay, and that is unnecessary because your family needs you. Your real work is when you get back home. Work will replace you if you're not there tomorrow, but nobody will replace you back home. So please make sure that you put an end to that behavior if it is, and get back home to your family when it is needed. Okay, so now let me move on to the next session. I hope I've inspired you enough. And it has been like really an ongoing session about success. So let's moving on to, I want to give you a little bit awareness about what is alcohol specialist nursing and substance misuse. Okay, so basically alcohol specialist nursing is you care for patients with alcohol misuse and who are admitted to hospital, acute hospital, with alcohol related diseases, so say Korsakoff disease or liver disease, etc. Substance misuse on the other hand is illegal use of drugs or over-the-counter prescriptions in a way that is not meant to be used and could cause harm for you. A simple matter of fact with substance misuse, ഞാൻ പറയാം, ഒരു സർവേ എടുത്തതാ Healthcare England in March 2023. It says that there are 3.1 million people at the age of 16 to 59 who have reported using drugs in the last 12 months. And these drugs are so openly available in colleges and schools that if you have a child who is going to school, you need to be aware of these drugs out there. So basically drugs, there's a lot of type of drugs: cannabis, cocaine, ecstasy, hallucinogens, ketamine, and they all have their ill effects. All have their ill effects, and they are available to you in various forms, say as pills, as powders, as tablet forms, as rock or hard forms, as injectables. So you need to be aware of this when you're looking after patient. നമ്മൾ UK ജോലി ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ we have to be aware of these drugs out there. And most of all, the one that just throws me off is the medications, the pills that are available on the black market in the everyday local people പറയും. But basically they are not licensed, so they can be a concoction or a mixture of anything from say your pain medications, from codeine to Finargin, to anything, and adinte ratio bolum namukku ariyilla. And when you get such patients, they are really difficult to manage. Management of substance misuse, substances or drugs, withdrawal management is not as difficult as alcohol management, because if you put them in a graph, drugs and alcohol, the most drug that does harm is alcohol, though it is legal. Okay, and that just throws me off, that though it being legal, available open in the markets, alcohol still does the highest amount of harm to you. Okay, then I wanted to speak to you about what basically is alcohol specialist nursing. Who can do alcohol specialist nursing? If you look at my journey, anybody can. And if you're preparing up to it, if you think you have an interest in it, try and doing e-learning courses that are available free to you when you prepare for interview, and take those certificates for you, and that you can show your understanding about alcohol specialist nursing. There is sequence, there is nice guidelines. Read upon this and also show your knowledge about this. നമ്മൾ ഒരു interview പോകുമ്പോൾ ഇതിനെ കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് മിണ്ടാം, and that will give you an upper hand above the other candidates on your knowledge of alcohol specialist nursing. What we do is we basically see patients in A&E within the 4-hour window. We need to assess them and make a plan with them. We also see and review patients, assess and review patients on the wards, make sure they have their medication management, which is the most priority for us, detoxing patients on the ward. We will not admit patients for a formal detox unless and until they have any other physical ailments. So if a patient comes and says, I want a detox, നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ admit ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. So an alcohol specialist nurse should complete an assessment to see whether or not they meet the said criteria to be admitted in a hospital. Okay, our main aim is to try and discharge the patient into community to get them engaged with community services, because I'd like to say the funda behind this is that alcohol or any substance misuse cannot be undone in one day. It has been a lifelong habit for that individual or that person, and to undo it, it will take that amount of, a long period of time, say around 6 to 12 months to really recover out of alcohol misuse. പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, we can refer patient to community mental health, community substance misuse team, which is a really strong sort of a resource in UK. Community support is a really strong support system in the UK. We can refer patients to community support, but referral, it doesn't stop. You should make sure that a person from the community service makes contact with the patient before they are discharged, and that is called safe care planning. You close one end to the other. You don't leave them. You say, okay, patient is discharged, നമ്മൾ community referral ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അങ്ങനെയല്ല നടക്കുന്നത്. You make sure that that patient doesn't fall through the loop, and that is what quality indicates your service, makes you stand apart. Okay, അപ്പം ഞങ്ങൾ അത് ചെയ്യും. Then we have people come from the community services into hospital. They are called in-reach workers. അപ്പം അങ്ങനത്തെ റോൾസും ഉണ്ട്. Then we have outreach workers. So community, from the community itself, people are funded to do that role. So what they will do is they will go and get alcohol or substance misuse dependent patients. They'll try and get them to these services. അവരെ വീട്ടിൽ പോയി പിക്കപ്പ് ചെയ്യോ, say if they're homeless, they'll go to their area where they bed. They get them into these services to create engagement so that the harm is reduced. So they are called as outreach support workers. This is just for an awareness for you. We also work quite closely with homeless team, with sexual health team, with multi-agency safeguarding hubs. So there's a lot of safeguarding for children and adults that we do. People who are unable to cope at home, we have to complete safeguarding for them. People who are alcohol dependent or you misuse drug and have kids at home, we have to complete children's safeguarding referral for them. And there's nothing wrong in that, because you're safeguarding that child. We also come across cases of human trafficking, asylum seekers, and we complete safeguarding for that, and we try and get them into support areas for them. So we have a case of എൻ്റെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ തന്നെ ഒരു ഹ്യൂമൻ ട്രാഫിക്കിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ഒരു പേഷ്യൻ്റ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, and we linked them into the correct service, and they are recovering now. And if they were to admit in hospital, we will also communicate with the said support system for human trafficking. It's called HOPE in our area, to come and support these people. പിന്നെ ചെയ്യാനുള്ളത് ഇതിൽ there are so many new things that you can do in alcohol specialist nursing. You can get involved in policy making, in guidelines making. These are all sort of skill sets that you will not find in any other role. So I'm quite passionate about that. We then get trained for fibroscans, to conduct fibroscans similar to an ultrasound, but not at that level, quite at a lower level than to an ultrasound. It's a test to see whether you have fatty liver disease, whether you have liver fibrosis. We hold fibroscan clinics. We hold outpatient clinics, telephone clinics, to try and get patient to engage. Pinne oru concept UK ullathu is ambulatory detox. Basically, a patient can go home, or either the community service or the hospital sets up days or clinics for the patient to come in, and we'll give the detox medication to the patient, and this is to decrease the length of stay in hospital, and this works well as well. We complete referrals to detox centers, and there is a band 4 role within our service, so they usually manage the lower end of cases. So they deliver a brief advice or motivational interviewing parayum. So they sit down with the patient, spend one-to-one time with them, and motivate them to take corrective actions, to better their behavior. We also refer patients to talking therapy, GP psychological therapies. Suicide prevention is a big work within our team. and we also support pregnant women who are alcohol dependent. You can get involved in creating new pathways. I've recently created a pathway for ICU and also created a pathway for maternity, so it's quite rewarding for me. I think I've contacted many hospitals around the country, and I think we are the first ones to do that. So you can get involved in that. So these are new ways of thinking. There's so many new ways that you as a nurse can flourish in UK, and this is what I'm trying to inspire you about. Then we attend peer networking forums. So basically, alcohol nurses across the country, we discuss what's happening at their hospital, we discuss what's happening in our hospital, and we try and make improvements from that. I have trained university students, and in the long run I wish to speak to school students to raise awareness about alcohol and drug use, which I think is quite necessary in the UK. So I hope I've given you enough information about alcohol specialist nursing. This brings me to the last bit of interview tips. So just ask yourself, just a second break and think to yourself, am I confident in attending an interview? What sort of pathway am I looking at in my life? Okay, so there are two ways that you can grow in your career. Either linear, that is in intra-departmental, you want to grow within your department and there is succession available for you, or extra departmental, that's for the one who are courageous, who want change, or like me, if you have had no other options. So you can grow in both the ways. So when you're preparing for an interview application, make sure that we have gone through the job description and person specification, because NHS used is ATS. So ATS system is basically all computerized, and it will pick up the words that the hiring manager has set up. So make sure word by word you've put your person specification, essential and desirable criteria എഴുതാൻ പറ്റുവാണെങ്കിൽ അത് supporting information എഴുതുക, and examples ഇടാൻ പറ്റുവാണെങ്കിൽ അതും ഇടുക. So that will support, and you'll definitely be invited for an interview if you've done that. Okay, and please copy paste ചെയ്യരുത്. Do not copy one CV for another job, because ഞാനത് interview ചെയ്യാൻ ഷോർട്ട് ലിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പം കുറേ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. We just copy paste. Please don't do that. Okay, every role has a specific requirement, specific job description and person specification. നമ്മളത് വായിച്ച് കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് അത് എഴുതണം. Okay, and support it. പിന്നെ പറയാനുള്ളത്, when you're preparing for an interview, പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ, if it's a specialist role, say infection control, diabetes specialist, alcohol specialist, there are courses available. E-learning for England, നമ്മൾ band 5 നിന്ന് band 6 നോക്കുമ്പം വലിയ courses ഒന്നും വേണ്ട. It can just be a small certificate course, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Do that. Take the certificates with you as an evidence, and also read up on any sequence or any nice guidelines that is attached to that, which will give you, you will stand out from the other candidates. I can't go on long about this because we have limited time. If you definitely have any doubts and would like to talk to me, please message me later about it. Pinne parayanulladu, when if you're going up for band 7 or 8 onwards, band 7 onwards, please make sure that you try and do some presentation. Usually nammaloda presentation choikkum, but if they've not asked you for a presentation, try and put yourself into that role and see, this is what I did. Put yourself into that role and see, what is my aim going to be for myself, for a team, or for the service for the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. What is my plan? What can I do? Okay, and when you put that down, it will make you think, like a leader. It will make you think as a manager, and that will make you stand out from the other candidates. And adinte printed copy edutittu please take with you all for your interviews, and give it to the hiring manager. Adil oru hesitance kanikenda. It will only make you stand out and make you more successful for your interview. Okay, pinne ചെയ്യാനുള്ളത്, finally when they ask you, do you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask any questions. Think about what role you're going for. Say if you're going for a lead alcohol specialist nurse ആയിട്ട് പോവുക, and that's a new service, you want to be asking them, okay, when I start this role, what are your expectations from me? Okay, how does a normal working day look like for a band 6 nurse or a band 7 nurse in your view? Or pinne namukku choikkan pattuvanne, you have been working within this service. How have you progressed? What are the career progression? What are the career progression options that are available? Okay, please don't hesitate in asking these. Okay, nammal oru tettu adil vicharikenda, because that shows how open minded you are and what you're thinking about. You have already put yourself in the job and you're thinking about your role. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my talk today, and I hope I've inspired you all enough to, like start of the week motivation to, or food for thought for all of you. So just recapping about today's session, I've spoken to you about success, what success looks like for each of us. It's very subjective. What success means to you is quite different to my perception of success. We spoke about barriers of success. I threw out 4 points to you all to say these are the barriers to success. Please make sure you go back and listen to it if you want to. Okay, and how we overcome it, perseverance, and just keep pursuing, do not give up. Okay, and that will make you successful in your career. Then we spoke about what is alcohol specialist nursing. I gave you a brief glimpse into it. Substance misuse and what is, the substances available over here. I can go into depth, but obviously not on this occasion. Then I have given you some interview tips, how to do your, job application, supporting information. പിന്നെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിൽ പോകുന്ന സമയത്ത് എന്തൊക്കെ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യാനുള്ളതുണ്ട്. So please make sure that you listen to it and try and utilize it in your further job opportunities if you're looking for it. And I wish you all the best, and I wish you all the success in your life, for all those who are watching it now, and for those who will watch in the future. Finally, when I'm closing today's session, it's nearly coming, just 6 minutes left. Closing the session, I want to remind you once more about the saying from Winston Churchill. If you can remember that success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue, and it is the courage to continue that counts. Okay. പിന്നെ ഇപ്പം പുതിയ നടക്കുന്ന റീൽസും ട്രെൻഡ്സ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. I am a Malayali, so yes, I've done this. I am a Mallu, so this. So I want you all to remember, every time you see such a reel, or നമ്മൾ just scroll ചെയ്യുക, ഇങ്ങനത്തെ reel വരും, say to yourself, I am a Mallu nurse in the UK. Yes, I can. I am a Mallu nurse. Yes, I will overcome my adversity. I am a Mallu nurse. I will not stop. I will pursue, and I will show the courage to continue. Okay, because you have got this. Okay, we can do it. We've done it. We've come here and we're working in the UK. So you've already done a big part of it. So I wish you all the best. Okay, thank you for everyone who has joined me today. And all the best for all those who will watch this in the future. And I hope I can get to meet a lot of you all on May 18th when we celebrate Nurses Day in Manchester. So that's me signing off for today. Thank you, everybody. Wish you all the best in your future and with your job hunt, and wishing you all the best of success. If anyone wants to talk to me or needs any further information, please direct message me. I'm happy to speak to you at any time. Either I'll message you or I'll speak to you on the phone. Thank you. Bye.